So that's just kind of, now right here, now don't get all worked up over this. Now let me show you something. Here's what you need to, this is the one, this is from a textbook. I have actually tweaked this a little bit. Because the one you need is this one. The one thing you need to know, the pluripotent stem cell. Now, Shasta, on that practice exam, it asked you one question, where are the stem cells produced? Well, they be produced in the bone marrow. On that practice exam, it asks you where stem cells. Now, what is a stem cell? A stem cell, Melissa, is an undifferentiated cell. That means it can go in several different directions. That's what that means. It's undifferentiated. In other words, it can go this way, whatever. Undifferentiated. That's what a stem cell is. And so, the pluripotent stem cell, you will see that on your handout sheet. Now, on this sheet, if you draw a little, start right here and draw a little arrow, just you can do it like this on yours. Pluripotent stem cell, and you'll come down to myeloid stem cell. Pluripotent stem cell, lymphoid stem cell. Now, what I've done is tweak this thing a little bit. So don't try to memorize this thing. You don't even need to write it down. What you need, because I've added some stuff to it, and also kind of simplified this thing. You know, textbooks sometimes kind of want to go overboard. They want to kind of go blah, 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 you know, just kind of get diarrhea of the mouth. Just kind of go overboard. So we kind of tweak it just a little bit, and let me show you. All right, now right here. All right, look at this. Pluripotent stem cell gives rise to a myeloid stem cell and a lymphoid stem cell. The pluripotent is the daddy. He's the big daddy. The pluripotent is the big daddy. Write that in if you want to. He's the main guy. The pluripotent stem cell. All right, now, coming this way, the pluripotent, in other words, this woman that I knew real well up in Normandy, I worked with her some when I was up there, when I worked at the little school many years ago, and I've known her, who had leukemia, who passed away from leukemia. At one point, they gave her stem cells. You know, stem cells. Now, when they tried the stem cell approach, and the leukemia approach, the situation, the treatment, and they thought it was working pretty good, but it didn't. It didn't work out for her. It didn't work out. But anyway, the pluripotent stem cell, it can give rise to a lymphoid stem cell. Now, look on your deal there, everybody. All right, look on your deal. Now, on your deal, this will go to the lymphoid because that's a simple one. We got the PP, the pluripotent, the PP stem cell we got going over here. Now look on yours. We get a lymphocyte, L-Y-M-P-H-O-B-L-A-S-T. Now the lymphoblast, we just had it going in this way, direction and that way. The lymphoblast gives rise to the B lymphocytes, B-L-Y-M, and the T lymphocytes, L-Y-M. And the T lymphocytes, okay, this one right here, the B is responsible, now make sure you understand this. Make sure you understand it. And that word would be lymphocyte, like it's on your sheet. And make sure you understand, where I have lymphocyte right here, you might expand on that just a little bit. Where I have just the word lymphocyte, you might kind of over the side, just kind of tweak that a little bit, and have lymphocytes. Okay, there's B lymphocytes give rise to antibodies. B-I is antibodies. And T lymphocytes, that T stands for thymus gland, they give rise to T cells. T cells. Now, the antibodies, and make sure you understand, the antibodies, that's part of your humoral, H-U-M-O-R-A-L. Humoral immunity, and this is part of what is referred to as our cell-mediated, M-E-D-I-A-T-E-D. Cell-mediated. T cells, cell-mediated. Okay, now the guy who controls all this story right here, though, and this stuff right here, this guy right here, he's not brought out much. This guy right here, one of these T lymphocytes is the TH cell. The TH. The T8 written like that, the helper T. The helper T actually controls. He controls the activation of the B lymphocytes. He controls this helper T right here, excuse me. The T that I have this T lymphoblast. That's lymphoblast, yeah. I'm sorry. The T lymphocyte, as I've got right out here, he controls the production of the TH cell. He controls the production of all these T cells, which some of them are memory T cells, some of them are helper T cells. The helper is the key. All right, let me go through that one more time. We got the lymphoblast, L-Y-M-P-H, lympho-B-L-A-S-T, lymphoblast. Okay, right here, the lymphoblast. We've got here, we've got the B lymphocyte, L-Y-M-P-H-O, B lymphocyte, and just make sure you know that humoral immunity. Right here, we've got the T lymphocyte, L-Y-M-P-H-O, T lymphocyte, responsible for cell-mediated, C-E-L, cell-mediated, and the T lymphocyte that's the primary one, really the commander right here is one known as the, and I just put this over on the side, the TH cell, the helper T. The helper T cell is really the commander. He is actually responsible for making these other guys do what they're supposed to do. Alright, so in the lymphoblast, everybody, the pluripotent stem cell gives rise to lymphoblast. The lymphoblast gives rise to lymphocytes, B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes. The T lymphocyte gives rise to the T cell. Does that kind of make any sense? And the primary player there is the TH cell, the helper T. The helper T turns around. See, here's where I'm going with this. Here's where I'm going. Worldwide, what is a big killer? HIV and AIDS. Worldwide, AIDS is a big killer. The HIV virus, human immunodeficiency, this is where I'm going with it. The human immunodeficiency virus, destroys the helper T. The Dwight Eisenhower of the Normandy invasion, June 6, 1944. Eisenhower called the shots. Kind of follow me? So the TH cell, the HIV targets this. When this is targeted, then it shuts down. These can't be produced. These are the killers. TC cytotoxic. The killer can't be produced. And also, when this guy's shut down, the B lymphocytes are not activated to produce antibodies. So the whole immune system, y'all kind of see this? The whole immune system craters. The HIV craters the whole immune system. And they say when the CD4 cell count gets below 200, a person has full-blown AIDS. The CD4 cell count is the TH cell. That's the helper T. You and I have a CD4 cell count of well over 2,000 or more. You and I with an immune system. We have a lot of those cells. But the HIV virus, that's getting into modern medical explanation of the importance of this immune system is very important. Does anybody have a question? Do you have a question over that? Who's the granddaddy? Who's the big daddy of the stem cells? Pluripotent. Gives rise to lymphoblast, monoblast. All right, lymphoblast gives rise to the lymphocytes, the T lymphocytes, the B lymphocytes. The B lymphocytes are sometimes called the B cells. The B cells are responsible for antibodies. The T cells are responsible for the T cells, like the helper T is the key one there. He calls then, he is responsible for the proliferation, the TH cell, of the killers, the memory, whatever, suppressor, all of them. The TH cell also kicks the B lymphocyte in the rear end and makes him convert to plasma cells, which produces antibodies. The antibodies are IgG, which we'll talk about those later. All right, so make sure everybody kind of get the roll on this. So we did the lymphoid stem cell. The pluripotent gives rise to one thing. We just said, there it is. The pluripotent gives rise to the lymphoid. The lymphoid stem cell gives rise to, and we just put lymphoblast, and we drew the arrow from lympho. There's the T lymphoblast. Gives rise to, there it is. Gives rise to those T lymphocyte, which is the T cell. The B lymphocyte, the B cell. There it is right there. The B lymphocyte is the B cell. The B cell, now notice this right here. The B cell, remember, does the B cell itself produce antibodies? No. Follow this, Jamie. Remember this? Follow it. He has to produce. This guy has to convert to this cell right here, the plasma cell.